Money. It's that universal thing, right? Something
Yeah.
we all need. But, for so many people, really understanding it, managing it effectively, that's often the tricky part.
Hmm.
And without what our source today calls money wisdom, well, life can get complicated
Hmm.
fast. Think about friction in relationships or the health toll of juggling jobs, creativity just getting sidelined by the need to make ends meet.
Yeah, the constant pressure.
Exactly. So today we're diving deep into this idea of discrete wealth management. We're pulling insights from Ronnie Roland's audiobook, The Quiet Millionaire, Discrete Ways to Make and Manage Money.
Interesting title.
It is, yeah. And our mission here is really to give you a shortcut, to unpack how some of the most financially successful people often operate quietly behind the scenes. What's their approach to money wisdom?
Okay.
And look, a really crucial point right up front. This whole journey, it's deeply personal. It's got to be about finding choices that genuinely work for you, for your risk tolerance, your lifestyle,
Yeah.
not just copying someone else.
Right. No one-size-fits-all solution.
Definitely not. And what's really fascinating about Roland's take right from the get-go is this kind of paradox. The most successful folks he talks about, they aren't trying to impress anyone.
Hmm.
Instead, they quietly build wealth, often give generously, but they share broad principles that work. They don't get into the nitty-gritty of their own finances. It's a path to stability and freedom through these quiet, intentional choices.
It sounds quite different from the usual shout it from the rooftops approach we sometimes see.
It really is. So, okay, let's unpack this quiet millionaire idea. Why is discretion, privacy such a cornerstone of financial success, according to Roland? It kind of goes against the grain, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And yeah, that's what makes it so interesting. It shifts the focus immediately away from just like earnings, right? It's more about the whole environment, the ecosystem you build around your finances.
Ecosystem, I like that.
Yeah, financial independence, the book stresses, it's not an accident. It comes from deliberate choices, how you handle money, how you grow it. And for many, a key part is keeping it private.
Okay, but why? What's the thinking there?
Well, think about it. Managing money, it involves really personal choices.
Right.
It varies so much from person to person. What works for me might be terrible for you.
True.
And discussing it openly, that just invites, unwanted opinions, judgments, maybe even pressure from friends, family, colleagues.
Oh, yeah. The unsolicited advice.
Exactly. How you should spend or donate or invest,
Right.
or even criticism if your choices don't line up with what they think you should be doing.
That pressure is real. I have definitely seen that.
Hmm.
But beyond just opinions, the book mentions security too, right? Is there like a tangible risk to being too open about wealth?
Oh, absolutely. It's something people often overlook, I think, especially now in the digital age.
Hmm.
Promoting affluence can make you a target.
How so?
Well, for everything from lawsuits, maybe frivolous ones, to fraudulent schemes, manipulation, both online and, in real life. Keeping your financial details private acts like a shield. It helps protect against potential exploitation.
That makes sense. A layer of protection.
Yeah. So this whole quiet millionaire ethos, it really boils down to a few key behaviors. These successful people, they build wealth modestly, almost under the radar. They give generously, but without needing applause.
No fanfare.
Right.
Mhm.
They share broad principles that have worked, not their specific stock picks. And they only involve really trusted partners and ethical advisors. It emphasizes, diligence, avoiding arrogance, learning to politely say no to funding requests, and just sticking to your values with peace and privacy.
Okay, so if discretion is so important, that raises a big question, doesn't it? How do you figure out who to trust for financial advice? Feels like everyone's selling something these days.
That's a critical point, yeah. And Roland is pretty blunt about it, actually. He basically warns against taking financial guidance from people who are consistently struggling themselves.
Oh.
Yeah, people who are always in debt, or maybe they genuinely hate their jobs. He says quite pointedly, their fruits provide clear principles to avoid. It's about looking at the results, the patterns in their own lives.
That's direct. But what about people who've just had bad luck? Or, someone who's made mistakes but is trying to learn? Is there nothing to learn from them?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
And Roland does clarify. He acknowledges temporary setbacks happen,
Yeah.
health issues, industry changes, things like that. And guidance from experienced elders who've really navigated life, that's invaluable.
Okay.
But he stresses avoiding those who are constantly struggling, always making excuses, or have that, victim mentality. Their whole approach often just perpetuates scarcity.
Right, the mindset trap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he advises seeking out mentors who have intentionally achieved impressive results, solid lifestyles, over many years. People who handle their own finances with apparent ease.
Where do you find these people?
Could be anywhere, really. Family members, coworkers, maybe experts you research who provide clear guidance backed by practical, observable examples.
Yeah.
The key is looking for substance over flash.
Substance over flash.
Yeah.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, true mentors, they impart habits, knowledge, foundational wisdom. That's very different from, say, some mainstream influencers who might be more focused on funding a luxury image than actual financial stability. It's about building strong foundations, not just looking good.
Got it. Focus on the fundamentals. So, okay, with the right mindset, maybe some trusted guidance, what are the actual building blocks? The foundational principles for building wealth Roland talks about. He highlights two timeless sayings, but gives them a modern spin. The first is, earn before spending. Seems simple, right?
Deceptively simple, yeah.
So why do so many people, even smart people, still struggle with this in our, buy now, pay later world?
Well, the book argues our society pushes immediate results, right? Shortcuts to everything, including wealth. But Roland really hammers home that patience and discipline are absolutely crucial for long-term financial health.
Patience isn't very sexy, though.
No, it's not. But those impulsive buys on credit cards, the loans for things we convince ourselves we deserve now, they just lead to debt payments that eat away at future income. The wiser path, the quiet path, is consciously living within your means, saving diligently, and only buying what you can truly afford, delaying gratification for a bigger, more secure future.
Right. Rewiring that impulse. Okay, what about the second principle? Investigate before investing. Again, sounds like common sense. Where do people trip up?
This is where psychology comes in. Roland points out that when an investment opportunity seems urgent, or exclusive, or like a guaranteed win.
FOMO kicks in, fear of missing out.
Exactly. FOMO, or maybe social proof everyone else is doing it, those feelings can easily override logic. The book is crystal clear. If an opportunity can't stand up to objective, thorough research, just walk away.
So do your homework.
Thoroughly. Smart investors, they dig into financial statements. They really understand a company's strengths and weaknesses. They evaluate the potential returns against the risks. And they look at other options before committing. Jumping in without that deep dive, you're just asking for trouble scams or just poor results. It's that careful pre-check that leads to finding real opportunities for long-term wealth, not just chasing hype.
That's such a good reminder, especially now with information flying everywhere. And of course, the flip side of earning before spending and careful investing is debt. Roland is incredibly direct about the burden of debt. What does he see as the main dangers? And what's the way out?
Oh, he pulls no punches on debt. Credit cards, student loans, mortgages, they pile up so fast, and people consistently underestimate the long-term hit.
It's easy to get into, harder to get out of.
That's exactly it. Roland quotes something like, getting into debt is a breeze, but getting out of it can be quite challenging. He details how those interest payments just eat away at your budget, limit your choices, demand constant focus. Money goes to servicing debt instead of building your future.
It's like running in place financially.
Totally. So the book positions minimizing and ideally eliminating debt as the absolute foundation for building real wealth. As your debts go down, your net worth goes up. It frees up cash flow for investments, retirement, maybe starting a side business. It's about regaining control.
And he's just as blunt about get-rich-quick schemes, right? Those seem like the constant temptation for people drowning in debt.
Yes, a huge warning sign there. He's talking about those overhyped business opportunities, the crazy crypto or stock tips, multi-level marketing things, even gambling systems. Roland says they lack real substance. They rely on slashy tricks and almost always lead to financial pain.
So what's the alternative?
Focus on genuine value creation, applying sound business fundamentals consistently, and embracing the patient, often boring, power of compound growth. Build something real. Don't chase illusions.
Right. Okay, so debt's being tackled, we're earning before spending, investigating before investing. The next step seems to be truly gaining control over your money. Roland points out financial stress is common but avoidable. What are the practical steps he suggests for getting that peace of mind?
He frames it as becoming aware and intentional. Step one is just knowing where you stand. An honest look at income, expenses, and especially unnecessary spending.
The latte factor and all.
Kind of, but deeper. He actually suggests keeping a record of every expense for a while. Not to judge yourself, but just to see reality. Where's the money actually going? Unused subscriptions, impulse buys.
Yeah, those can add up.
They really can. Once you know, then you can create a practical budget, adjusting things like housing, transport, entertainment so it's truly manageable. And, crucially, look for ways to maximize earnings, maybe through more education, side hustles, better job prospects.
So know your numbers, make a plan. What else?
Financial literacy. Huge. He stresses boosting your money management skills, learning to use banking tools effectively, understanding investing basics, taxes, smart saving strategies, and here's a big one. Automate your finances.
Automate.
Set up automatic transfers to savings, retirement accounts, investments. Automate bill payments too. It reduces stress, cuts down on mistakes, and adds a layer of security. Pay yourself first, automatically.
Makes sense. Takes willpower out of the equation a bit.
Exactly. And finally, set clear financial goals, short, medium, long term. They give you direction, motivation, and vitally important, build that emergency fund, at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That's your buffer, your safety net against life's curveballs.
That buffer seems key for peace of mind. This all leads to a pretty profound idea in the book. Money is a means, not an end. How does really getting that idea change things? Our relationship with wealth, maybe even our daily choices?
Oh, it's a total game changer. It shifts money from being the goal itself to just being a tool to achieve goals. Roland puts it beautifully. Money is a tool you can go anywhere with it, but you'll still be the one in control.
You're in the driver's seat.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Your financial situation doesn't dictate your path. Money follows your direction, your values. He gives simple examples. Two people with the same amount of money might choose luxury, or they might choose charity. Two people who retire early, one might travel the world, the other might start a nonprofit. How money gets used is all about personal vision.
That's actually really freeing when you think about it that way. So money's impact is up to us.
Exactly. Handled wisely, it's an amazing tool for security, for opportunity. But if it starts controlling you, if you mismanage it, it can become this destructive force, stress, frustration, ruin. Its value isn't inherent. It's about how you interact with it.
So the warning is?
Don't let money take over.
Yeah.
Don't neglect relationships, health, your core values in the pursuit of it. Instead, consciously harness its power according to your values. Use its strengths to serve your life's purpose. You control it, not the other way around.
Okay. So if money is a tool for our purpose, its potential goes way beyond just our own lives, right? The book talks about money working for you, growing for generations. What's that long-term vision about?
Yeah, Roland shifts the focus there. True financial success isn't just about income, how much you make. It's about how much you keep by avoiding waste, minimizing taxes. The savvy approach is optimizing for long-term growth with a multi-generational view.
Thinking beyond yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Understanding money's value goes beyond just buying stuff now.
Yeah.
It's the foundation for stability and opportunity for kids, grandkids. And that thinking influences everything: spending, investment timelines, asset allocation.
It sounds like a much bigger perspective. What are some strategies for that kind of long-term impact?
Well, things like prudent saving, obviously.
Yeah.
Investing intelligently in portfolios built for consistent long-term growth. Sometimes that means prioritizing sustainability over quick wins. And thoughtful estate planning, so you pass on not just assets, but financial wisdom too. The goal is a lasting, positive legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And Roland brings in this really profound idea here. It echoes some ancient wisdom. Enjoyed, not owned.
Enjoyed, not owned.
Yeah, the idea that real joy comes from using and experiencing things, not just possessing them. Material stuff is temporary, we're just caretakers. Real wealth is finding joy in life, in the universe, without being rigidly attached to things. It naturally leads to being more generous, seeing sharing as an opportunity.
That's a beautiful philosophy. And that kind of perspective, that long-term view, must lead to a deep sense of security. Roland says financial freedom is the best security. How does getting that freedom change daily life? How is it different from just being, rich?
It's a fundamental difference. Financial freedom, in this context, means total control over your life. Being able to pursue your passions, support your family, without being tied to a job you might not even like.
So, enough passive income to cover expenses.
Essentially, yes. Having sufficient assets and passive income so your living costs are covered. That frees you up. Time for meaningful work, relationships, travel, learning, just enjoying life. It massively reduces the stress and anxiety tied to uncertain income, like layoffs.
Right. Security beyond the paycheck.
Exactly. And Roland clarifies, True prosperity isn't about just piling up more and more stuff. It's about having enough freedom and security to really flourish. Once the basics are covered, you can prioritize what truly matters to you: family, service, creativity, spirituality, whatever brings fulfillment.
And the path to that freedom, is it complicated?
He says it's straightforward, though not always easy. Spend less than you earn, save diligently, make wise long-term investments, and let compound growth do its thing. Patience and discipline again.
Okay, straightforward. But this freedom, this control, it comes with a big warning from Roland. Money is not your God. What are the dangers if we start worshiping wealth? And how do we keep it in its place as a tool?
Yeah, it's a really powerful warning and necessary. Society often puts billionaires on pedestals, right? Presents huge wealth as the ultimate goal. But Roland points out this idolization can lead to really dangerous compromises in ethics, relationships, health.
Chasing the dollar above all else.
Exactly. When profit becomes the only focus, values get lost. He emphasizes money alone doesn't guarantee happiness or success. Its value is just material purchasing power. And some of life's best things, love, knowledge, character, service, connection, you can't buy those.
So how do we keep that balance?
His advice is clear. Earn ethically. Spend wisely. Be generous. Understand money's role in building the life you want, but never let it define your purpose. You control the money, it doesn't control you.
And that's where the idea of money working for you comes in, right? He says when money is working for you, you can work less. What does that look like practically?
That's really the core of financial independence. Once you've saved and invested capital, Roland explains, that money itself can start generating income. Passively.
Through investments.
Yeah, things like stocks paying dividends, bonds paying interest, rental properties bringing in income, maybe profits from a business you own. But don't run day to day. The ultimate goal is for this passive income to grow until it covers your living expenses, maybe even exceeds your job income. That's true financial independence, shifting from trading hours for dollars to having your assets earn for you.
That makes sense. This whole idea of money as a tool, not a god, connects right into another core concept. Money represents the value you create. How can we consciously use that principle to, well, attract wealth?
It's a fundamental shift in thinking. Roland argues money isn't just paper or numbers on a screen. It's a symbol of value exchanged between people. It captures the value you generate and contribute to society.
How so? Give me an example.
Well, think about it. Money is earned based on the value of what you do growing food people need, performing life-saving surgery, creating software that boosts efficiency, providing entertainment people enjoy. It reflects how society values your skills, ideas, products, services.
Okay, I see. And assets too.
Yeah, assets like businesses or properties, they produce value through productivity, demand, usefulness. Billionaires, Roland points out, their wealth comes from the immense value their businesses create for millions of customers or users.
So it's not just about working hard, but about creating value. What's the practical takeaway for building wealth then?
The core message is simple. Value creation is what attracts money. And beyond just earning it, money itself, when you put it to work, generates returns, it multiplies. So Roland encourages deliberately choosing ways to link your money with productivity, making your savings and capital work constantly, even when you're sleeping.
Set it and forget it.
Not exactly forget it. He stresses that money works best when it's actively managed, not just sitting passively. Building those significant passive income streams, it takes time, consistent effort. But that value generation, when done right, grows exponentially over years.
Okay, so create value, put money to work, creating more value. Building on that, Roland then talks about valuing your worth. It's not enough to create value. You have to be compensated fairly for it. How do we find that balance? What happens if we don't?
It's a really common trap, he says. People tend to underestimate their own value, the effort they put in. And so they miss opportunities for fair pay.
Underselling ourselves.
Exactly. And while generosity is great, Roland warns it shouldn't mean letting people take advantage of you. He puts it very directly. If you don't prioritize your time, others won't either.
Ouch. True, though.
Yeah. He addresses that issue of people constantly asking for freebies, exploiting kindness. He just need equilibrium. Appreciate the worth of what you bring, your skills, experience, training, and then establish clear, fair agreements based on that value.
So it's about setting boundaries and communicating clearly. Can you give an example?
Sure. Like instead of just doing endless favors, maybe you set an hourly rate for a detailed legal review you're qualified to give, or agree on a fixed project contract for building a website. The point is to communicate your value clearly, professionally. Setting reasonable prices, he argues, actually filters out people just looking for a free ride.
That makes sense. It connects back to the long game, right?
Absolutely. Getting fair compensation is part of the broader picture of wealth building, which Roland keeps emphasizing takes time, grit, determination. Successful people, they face obstacles. They learn, adapt, persevere. Sustainable wealth needs consistent effort, solid plans, safety net, investments, tax strategy, and just allowing time for that compounding magic to happen.
Right. Perseverance. Now, the world changes constantly, right? Economies shift, markets fluctuate. Roland offers this strategy: expect the best, save for the worst. How do you stay optimistic but also realistically prepared?
It's about being adaptable, resilient. Roland acknowledges wealth building isn't a straight lineup. There are ups and downs, market corrections, economic shifts, unexpected events. He uses this great image. Be like a supple tree that bends with the wind rather than breaking.
Flexible, not rigid.
Exactly. So, yes, be optimistic about your investments, your ventures, focus on the potential, but have a practical mindset. Avoid unrealistic expectations or just hoping for the best without a plan B.
Okay, so optimism tempered with pragmatism. What are the concrete steps he suggests for actually preparing for the worst?
He lays out a clear roadmap. First, that emergency fund we talked about, 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Minimum, that's your immediate cushion.
Check. What else?
Diversify your investments. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread money across different asset types, stocks, bonds, real estate, maybe commodities. Reduces risk significantly.
Makes sense.
Third, live below your means. Conscious spending, frugality. That habit frees up more money to save and invest. Fourth, minimize debt. Avoid unnecessary borrowing. Prioritize paying off high-interest stuff.
Get rid of those burdens.
Yeah. Fifth, stay informed. Keep learning about financial trends, investment opportunities, the economy. And finally, always have a backup plan. Maybe secondary income streams, other investments, fallback career options. It's about building a strong financial structure, not just a tall one.
A financial fortress, you could say. That brings us almost full circle to what might be the most important investment. The best investment is in yourself. Why is betting on your own growth the ultimate financial strategy? How does that work?
Roland is really clear on this. You can invest in stocks, bonds, real estate, whatever, but investing in your own growth, your capabilities, that's universally seen as the most reliable path to lasting success and fulfillment.
Human potential.
Exactly. The potential for growth within us is huge if we intentionally harness it. He talks about investing in a clear vision for your life, upgrading job skills, nurturing creative talents, prioritizing health, strengthening relationships. All of that yields not just potential income, but deep personal joy.
So how do you invest in yourself practically?
It means honestly looking at your strengths, weaknesses, making plans to boost skills, productivity, adopting a growth mindset, always learning, practically. It could be investing in courses for a new qualification, funding workshops or gear to turn a hobby into income, maybe hiring a coach for health or business goals.
Things that yield compounding rewards in your own life.
Precisely. Daily compounding rewards through better performance, more opportunities. And he highlights a key shift, moving from just trading time for money to generating leveraged income.
Leveraged income.
Yeah, income not tied directly to hours worked. Think book royalties, software licenses, passive income from investments, or a scalable business. This requires developing high-income skills, unique expertise, combined with a way to scale it.
That sounds powerful, but maybe difficult.
He acknowledges it is challenging, really understanding your unique value and packaging it innovatively for passive income. It pushes against our comfort zones or reliance on just showing up for a paycheck.
Yeah.
But the freedom and income leverage it offers, totally worth the effort.
Okay. So all these principles, discretion, wise guidance, solid foundations, understanding money's purpose, valuing yourself, resilience, self-investment, they all seem to lead to one big idea: living life on your terms. How does all this financial wisdom let you redefine wealth and really chase a fulfilling life, maybe one that looks different from the norm?
This is where Roland really challenges us. He says true wealth isn't just about the number in your bank account or the assets you own. It's the freedom, the resources, to fully embrace life once your basic needs are covered.
Beyond a certain point, more money doesn't equal more happiness.
That's the idea he presents. What truly matters is using your resources efficiently to pursue your aspirations, to gain meaningful experiences. He contrasts like a super busy, conventionally rich person with maybe a travel blogger who has less income but way more life experience.
Different kinds of wealth.
Exactly. This new perspective defines wealth as the freedom to enjoy relationships, creativity, service, travel, whatever matters to you, without money being the barrier, living intentionally, aligning time and money with your values, not just chasing status.
So how do you make that leap? Prioritize fulfillment over, say, a bigger paycheck.
Roland suggests breaking free from jobs that just pay the bills but drain your soul.
Mhm.
Strategically reorganize finances to generate income from investments, passive streams, appreciating assets. This lets you define wealth by how well it aligns with your soul's purpose, as he puts it, rejecting external pressures about what success should look like.
That takes courage, though.
Definitely. Living life on your own terms requires honesty with yourself, setting boundaries, taking calculated risks, maybe making sacrifices like leaving a conventional career path. It's about, as he says, trading your money for fulfillment, prioritizing overall well-being, mind, body, spirit, over just convenience, making sure your work is meaningful and time with loved ones is sacred.
Wow. What a journey through the ideas in The Quiet Millionaire. We started with understanding money's personal nature, the power of discretion, then finding wise mentors,
Mm-hmm.
embracing those basics, earn before spending, investigate before investing, tackling debt head on, then really gaining control, budgeting, literacy, automation. Yeah.
Getting the systems in place.
Right. Redefining money as a tool for value, thinking about multi-generational wealth, valuing our own worth, preparing for uncertainties, expecting the best but saving for the worst, and always, always investing in ourselves, all leading to living life on our own terms.
It's a comprehensive framework,
It
really.
really is. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe here's something to chew on. True financial wisdom, maybe it isn't about hitting some arbitrary millionaire status. Maybe it's about truly internalizing that money is a means, not an end.
Yeah.
It's about consciously choosing to use its power to serve your unique life's purpose, your deepest values, instead of letting it run your life, dictate your anxieties, or define who you are. So the question for you listening is, what small, intentional step can you take this week to make sure your money is working for your definition of a truly fulfilling life?